Boho Dreams. Janice Baker woke in the middle of the night to the strangest boho dream. She was doing macrame and sitting on a striped beach towel beneath a large umbrella. There were seagulls that called, and waves that called to her, and even a few surfboards in sight, like stepping stones enticing her to the crisp blue waters and white foam of every wave break. And she kept working on her macrame beneath a woven straw hat, where she felt the sunglasses on her nose that remarkably never tinted the view. She jolted awake, whereupon she was saddened to find herself on her side of the bed and her sleeping husband snoring. Every roll of the ocean was no longer there, but hundreds of miles away, for the Bakers lived in the middle of the country with nary a coastline in sight. And so Janice Baker lay back down and did her best to sleep. She wanted to reclaim that boho dream and feared it as well. There was the sudden urge to abandon it all. The house, the fence, the husband, even the dog. All to buy a camper and chase a boho dream into reality. But what would the neighbors say? Janice would have to find out. It started during her shift at the grocery mart, where she and Molly were awaiting new customers and enjoying the lull. "Do you ever think about boho dreams?" Janice blurted over the register. "The what?" Molly chuckled. "Boho dreams. You know, bohemian." "What's a bohemian dream?" Molly's brow furrowed. This was stupid, Janice thought, but she couldn't help herself. Living by the beach, surfing, don't you dare say it, macrame? Macrame? Molly pulled a face. What's the appeal of macrame? We're needlepoint biddies, Janice. As soon as our husbands retire, that's what we'll do, and that's where we'll be. Right on our front porches, like we planned. I hate my plans, thought Janice. What's the appeal of macrame? I don't know, Janice mumbled, needlessly wiping down her register. It was just a thought. Have you talked to Father Todd about this? Father Todd wakes up with skin as white as sunscreen, Janice thought bitterly, before she surprised herself. Oh my. What a horrible thing to think about Father Todd. No, and I don't think I will, said Janice, smartening up her vest. It was a silly thing. My bohemian dream. That silly thing did not wither like Janice hoped. She had more of them. Every night she went to the beach. Every night Janice Baker got baked and woke up as pale as Father Todd. Every morning she went to work and rang purchases, and every evening she went to bed thinking about hot sand. Until the one night when her husband climbed into bed. What would you think about becoming a snowbird? A snowbird? Winter in the south at the shore and summer up here? We could do it. We don't have the money. We just finished paying the mortgage off. Oh, I know, said Janice. Never mind. It was stupid. Stupid. Snowbird. What would you tell him that for? Weeks passed. Janice did her best but grew increasingly more frustrated. And she took it out on her poor husband, who didn't understand any of what she was saying. Say what you mean, Janice, he said as they argued in the kitchen. Do you want to live in this house or not? Of course I do. Then what do you keep talking about the beach for? I don't know. Just ignore me. It grew worse when Janice's manager made her establish a summer display that involved setting up beach chairs and an umbrella. Janice hated walking past aisle 12 because of it, until she finally bought some nylon cord she found in the cleaning aisle and took off her vest for her break. She sat right down in that beach chair with new sunglasses that she took from the counter. That's right, she took them. They still had the tag on the nose brim. And with her fingers and nylon string, she began making a series of knots, having no idea how to macrame. She didn't care. Janice! What? Janice looked up at Molly. What are you doing? Macrame. You said you were going on break. Not spring break, This is my break. I'm doing macrame at the beach, the closest way I can get to it. I'm going to tell Father Todd after Bible study on Sunday. Go, tell him, Janice said boldly as Molly strode off. Children snickered to see Janice as they peered from around the aisle. Janice's manager stopped by, torn between embarrassment and amusement, and only disallowed in telling her off as she was still on her break. But when Janice went home that night, she felt satisfied. She had done it, in whatever fashion she could manage, and dread filled her stomach when she entered the house and found her husband sitting at the table with an envelope in front of him, and his hands laced together. "What's that, a bill?" Janice asked. "Open it," he said. She did so nervously and then smiled. "Airplane tickets." "You're taking me to the beach." "I am," he smiled. "And if you really want to stay down there, we'll pack up the house and we'll find whatever we can. And next time you want to do something, just tell me." "How did you know?" "Oh, the macrame and the beach, and Father Todd called me because Molly rang him for an emergency Bible session." "And?" Janice grinned. Her husband smiled. "And I figured if I didn't even know the pastor's name was Todd, the least I could do is let him tell me how to make my wife happy by doing the exact opposite of whatever he recommended." "Oh dear." "Unfortunately, you are now being prayed for by a series of nuns over becoming a bohemian. I'm perfectly fine with it so long as I don't have to grow facial hair." "Just the beach and macrame for me," Janice smiled. "I'm not that kind of hippie." And so, Janice and John Baker vacationed down at the beach that they were hesitant to relocate to, until they walked past a perfect little cottage that even had their name painted on the mailbox. Father Todd phoned relentlessly, and Molly wouldn't speak to Janice at work anymore, not even when Janice tried to say goodbye. Sometimes, the cost of one's boho dream means giving up what the neighbors think, as well as Molly and Father Todd. But the feeling of sand between Janice's toes was priceless. And then John awoke with a start one night, believing they were still at the old house and that his new beach cottage was the dream. He sighed and fell back asleep, utterly blissed out that that was not the case. The snoring, I'm afraid, remained, but as the Bakers could now hear the rolling waves from their windows, Janice believed John no longer snored, and the couple never slept better.